You guys hear that? We'll know what that is. It's a chainsaw. Like not that far from me, on my neighbor's property. Sounds like this hunt might be done. So with him doing that, there's just no way I'm gonna get much deer traffic through here. I'll give it a couple more minutes on the off chance he pushes something to me. But yeah, I think I'm done. Yeah, it has been one of those boring mornings, which is fine. You get those all the time. You can't always see deer running crazy all the time. Did see one buck. I don't know if I caught him on camera. He was a little far away and just kind of like snuck up in this embankment up here. And then I saw 4 does on the ridge across, so you guys can see like this dumps down in, and then past those woods I can see the ridge on the other side. It's not our property, it's the neighbor's property, but we do have rights to retrieve from his property. He gave us permission, but yeah, just a slow day. It's cold. First really cold one. I was really hoping to see some movement, but I don't know. It's no moon. They tend to move a lot at night when there's no moon, and it seemed like they get to bed kind of early and don't move as much. They're definitely pushing does through here. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we get someone that's up past their bedtime and moving around. Because that was a large buck. It's just a little bit before shooting light. Today is just not my day. I am not a happy camper. I am upset, very upset. I had 2 swings and 2 strikes, so I figured I'm just going to back out because why get frustrated? Even if like a trophy were to walk by me, I'd be so frustrated with how the day's gone so far, I'd probably make a terrible shot. So I wanted to sit out for like another 45 minutes, but I'm not going to because you kind of just got to feel it out. Today was not my day. The deer were moving. They will keep moving through tomorrow, most likely. And I don't want to educate any of them. So that last doe, she came in at about, 5 yards, really steep angle shot. Really, really steep angle shot. And right as I was letting go of my arrow, she busted me. And if you've ever heard the term that they jump the string, for bow hunters, that is like the worst feeling, because you can tell when an animal jumps your string, which means they hear your string before the arrow gets to them. And I took a good fluff of hair off of her back, no blood on my arrow whatsoever, and that buck I shot right over him. Definitely, I don't know if the video picked it up, I still have to look, but he was probably a wall hanger, not like the brute that went before him that's chasing does, but he was definitely a good deer. So you win some and you lose some. You know, this is part of hunting, just like it's a part of homesteading. You try things, you do things, they don't always go the way you think they're going to go. And with this, besides it having lots of moving parts that can fail and malfunction, I'm human. I got really excited, and I probably should have let that doe go, but she busted me right as I was letting go of my arrow and just kind of did a duck, because when a deer gets ready to run from you, they kind of crouch to spring forward, and she just took the tuft of her hair right off, because at that angle, like, I'm almost aiming right above the shoulder blade to come down into her lungs, which that's like a totally different lesson for anybody that's new to bow hunting. You always aim for lungs or heart. Some people aim for neck, but I just think lungs and heart is guaranteed. And the buck, I retrieved both my arrows. The buck was right there, stopped, took him at about 30 yards. He was probably about 23, so I shot right over his back. He was, like I said, none the worse for wear. He was more interested in the does that the big brute before him that I could barely tell was a huge buck in the morning light, because they came through right before shooting light. Right before. And then this guy came in about 5 minutes after, right at shooting light, and stopped and gave me a perfect shot. And I said, he's 30 yards. Now, it was before I got to do all my range finding to make sure my yardage is correct. And nope, he's probably around 23, so I shot clear over his back. So it's just a discouraging day, but maybe tomorrow will be better. I wanted to kind of rest after vacation, but with the way the deer are moving, and yeah, all that good stuff, I really want to get out again. So tomorrow I'm going to get out again. So we're out for day 2. The winds are at like 20-25 miles per hour, which most deer hunters, especially bow hunters, would be like, why waste it? But with all the action I saw 14 deer yesterday. Yeah, I had bad luck. One was my fault for not ranging correctly, and one was just like a freak accident. She just saw me right as I was releasing the arrow and turned. So we'll see. I have church later today, but let's see what we can see out here, because rut's beginning to start, which means the mature deer are moving, and we're not out here for antlers, but bucks start to bump does at this time of year, so they bump them out of bedding. So they're moving continuously throughout the day, because the males are starting to test to see if the females are in heat or in estrus. So maybe today we'll have better luck. I hope so anyway. So nothing in. I did see deer, so I saw 5. 2, I'm not sure what they were. 2 were definitely does that came in behind me and moved too quickly, or I would have tried to just film them for you guys. And the one was a small buck that you guys saw. They're all kind of on high alert, which is a given with the way that the wind's going today. Yeah, when winds like that, they don't usually ride the ridges like we're up hunting in. They usually stay down like in the gullies and the swales, which makes total sense. But you never know with it this being this time of year. You never know what you're going to see. So why do I keep bringing you guys along and showing you when I'm not successful? Because hunting isn't always successful. You don't always see deer. And sometimes when you do, like yesterday, when you take shots, sometimes things just don't fall into place. It's like that throughout our entire lives, not just with hunting, but with just life in general. So I want to kind of be true to you guys. I want to show you guys that it's not just going out and getting up in a tree and that deer just materialize the moment that the sun rises. It's not like that at all. Sometimes you'll see lots of deer, sometimes you won't see any. Sometimes you'll get shots, you'll make your shots. Sometimes you'll get shots and you won't make your shots, and either you've missed or you've wounded a deer, and both of those feelings are not good. And sometimes you just don't see anything at all. But what sets successful hunters apart from unsuccessful hunters is getting out and being out in the woods as much as they can, because you never know when those opportunities are going to present itself. And life is like that. We never know when an opportunity is going to present itself. We just have to be there in the moment and ready when it does. So if we never put ourselves in those moments, we're never going to be successful. We're never going to be able to find those opportunities that you see other people take or that they luck into, which I don't like to really talk about luck, because I don't think a lot of things are luck. I think it has a lot to do with people putting the time in and being in the right place at the right time, because they put the time in and they put the effort in to get up early in the morning and go sit in the tree for hours in the cold to maybe see nothing. But then there's that one time where you were out and you did see something and you made a good shot and you put meat in your freezer, or you got a trophy on your wall. It's like that in life too. If you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. My husband had to make sure to remind me of that yesterday, because I was kind of whining and crying over that buck that I missed. He's like, hey, you saw a trophy buck. He's like, you saw 4 shooters. He's like, people go out all the time and they don't see that at all. At least you're out there. So in life, you have to be there. You have to be present. You have to be with it, or you're not going to succeed. So yeah, that's why I'm going to show you guys when I go in and still come out empty-handed after 3 sits. So actually 5. After 5 sits, I'm still coming out empty-handed, but there are a lot of more sits in the deer woods that's coming, so might not come out bearing venison now, but hopefully later.